Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're going to get started. It's 5 o'clock and people are at home. It's actually a few minutes after, waiting for our service to begin. So our musicians are playing Hine Matov. I see some people parking, so we'll just sing that while we're waiting for them to come in. So Hine Matov can be found on page 128 in your sitter. Shabbat Shalom. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How wonderful it is for brothers and sisters and families and all of us in our Temple Emet community, both here and at home, to gather together for Shabbat. Thrilled to have Mark and Sandra Breikert back from their trip, their big journey here on the Bima. Ready? Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. And it is the beginning of a new cycle of Torah, and it is the beginning of all of us moving forward, and we've got some new journeys about to happen. We're excited to have Terry Schneier and her family here. We're going to bless them before they move to Virginia next week. So if you'll turn to page 131 in your sitter, we have Shiru Ladonai, Psalm 96. Are you ready? You can clap your hands, you know. It's going to be good. Get that spirit moving. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Ho Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Ho Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, V'Rahu Shemo, Basru Miyom Le'yom, Yeshua Tah, Shiru Ladonai, V'Rahu Shemo, Basru Miyom Le'yom, Yeshua Tah, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Ho Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Ho Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, V'Rahu Shemo, Basru Miyom Le'yom, Yeshua Tah, Shiru Ladonai, V'Rahu Shemo, Basru Miyom Le'yom, Yeshua Tah. Woo! Shabbat Shalom, everybody. If you'll now turn to page 142, we have Shalom Alechem, as we are going to welcome in the messengering angels for this Shabbat. So I say to you, Shalom Alechem, and what do you say to me? Alechem Shalom. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Sechem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch. And now, if you'll turn back to page 138, we're going to welcome in the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 5, and 9. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Yishmiyanu el hamichad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad, L'Shem v'Latiferet v'Leila la 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 Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nekavla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei Shabbat Nekavla. Verse 5. Hitoreri, Piva Orakuri, Ori, Shidaberi, Kevon Adonai, like la 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 la, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. Verse 9. B'wi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha v'sochla, tov b'nei am zedula, b'wi chala, b'wi chala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. B'nei B'nei, Shabbat Nekavla. Woo! Please be seated. We're going to turn to page 144 for our Hatzi Kaddish, which separates our Kabbalat Shabbat, our warm-up section for our spiritual being, before we do our official call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabba, v'yalmad v'yvarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yom echon, v'chayei lechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, v'zman kari v'merel. Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach, v'alam lo me'amaya. Yibarach, yishtamach, v'pa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnasei, v'yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yithalal, shemei dekudashah. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tishvechata v'nechemata, dam nihiran ve'alma v'yimerem. So periodically, my granddaughter watches Grandma TV. And Grandma TV is Temple Emet's YouTube channel. And so sometimes she likes it when I'm doing the Shema, and I go over there, the Micha Mocha, and she pretends she has a remote, and she says, again, again, again. So now, the other day, it wasn't even Shabbat. She woke up and she was having her breakfast, and she cast aside Cocomelon and the Wiggles, and she told her parents she wanted to see Grandma TV. So they called me at like 7:45 in the morning and said, "Look what's on the TV." And they were listening to the Baruch Hu. She kept wanting to hear the Baruch Hu over and over again. So she's watching now Grandma TV. We are now going to praise God with the official call to worship, the Baruch Hu. But this is a different version. This is the Third Friday version. Our Torah scrolls are in Shabbos white. Please be seated. They will need to be turned over into their regular colors, but it's always good to attract the light of Shabbat. So on page 148, our Ma'ariv, our Ravim, our evening prayer. And let us first read on the bottom of 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us, Schneier family? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? And the prayer, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, behochma poteach she'arim. Uvifunam meshaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, boreyom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom, umevi layla, umavdil ben yom, uvelayla. Adonai Sebaot Shalom, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamidim Lokaleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. And now the Shema on page 152. If you would like to stand or be seated, however you make that connection to the divine, please do so. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. May the force be with us all. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael. Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, key to the Ve'ahavta can be found on page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher Anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivdecha b'beitecha v'v'lechtecha b'derech v'v'shochecha v'knecha v'kashartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha v'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha v'visharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hiyatem kadoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem ve'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen. And now we are going to be doing our Micha Mocha prayer, and it's a wonderful prayer because it reminds us of what it was like when we had to make that decision. Were we going to go forward into the future, into whatever our destiny was, and we didn't know, had a clue what that was going to be, or were we going to just, be lackadaisical, stay where we were with, our situation with Pharaoh. We knew it was bad. The question was what we were going toward, would that be better? And so God had us all, just like our Parsha, the Shabbat, Lecha had us all, Lecha gave us a touch and takas, a little kick in the tushy, and we had to go forward. So if you'll look on page 231, let's read it together right now. And then we're going to have Victoria and her family come up right before the Micha Mocha, so that while she's still hanging in there, we can give them a blessing. So let's read. It's in the morning service. On page 231, let's read together and listen in the sermon. I reference it, just so you know I'm not making it up. It is in our siddur. Once or twice in a lifetime, together, a man or a woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai habacher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. So now would the family please come forward? Everybody in the family, in the Schneier family, up here right now. Woo! It is so. Hi, Victoria. I would like to remind everybody that Victoria was here for her baby naming. You saw that picture. Come on, come on. Yay! Yay! Here we go. Here we go. Ooh! And what is this? Presents! We all like presents, and this is a present gadol. It is a big one. But you can't have this until we talk to you first. So, everyone come forward. Everyone please rise as the Torah is open. York, you guys can come forward, but you want to not have your back to the Torah. Terry, you coming in? Hi. Here, I'll come on this side. How's that? Or do you want to be with me? You've been with him enough. Yeah, now he's moving with you, so there you go. Here we all are. Isn't it wonderful? We all stand before these Torah scrolls, and I'm actually glad they're dressed in white as the light reflects and covers you all. The white, here, got your binky. White is the color of perfection, purity, protection, spirituality, and that the divine will be with you wherever you go. So, we know that you're going to Lech Lecha and Lech Lecha. You're going to go forward to your new chapter. Everybody, Linda and her family, they asked, people have asked me, why are they going to Virginia? Linda's whole family's in Virginia. Victoria will have so many cousins to play with, and you know what that's all about because you were there in July. Yes. So they're all going to be together, and I'm going to miss you too. Ay, 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 vez mer. It's true. Yeah. But I'm going to come see you, and And so is everybody else. And Grandma Terry has, she's already found a temple, but you're still going to be a part of the temple family. Terry still wants to be a part of the board via Zoom. Yeah. And so they'll be flying back and forth to see you're going to see your great-grandma and grandpa and your other cousins here and your other grandpa that's here and all of us and maybe for high holy days and everything else. So as we stand before these Torah scrolls, we ask that God bless you and keep you smiling and happy and everyone healthy and full of life. And together let us say amen. Amen. So I'm going to close these so that you can stand in front of them. Okay, so now you can stand in front of them. Everybody can be seated because I can see they're getting tired. They're giving me the eye. So, this is a big present. And look, you guys are wearing some blue on you anyway. Do you want this present for your new house? You want to rip the paper? Yeah? So, I know you're having movers, so it's okay that we got you something big. You'll just have them wrap it back up. So please, let us rip this paper. Come on. Who's going to rip? Go ahead, rip. Victoria, rip. Here, rip. No? Okay. She's like, I'm not sure about this. Whoa, bubble wrap. Yeah, you like that. Okay, let's rip it all up. Yeah! Presents, and it's not even a birthday. Okay, so here, Linda, why don't you help with this? I'm going to grab the paper. All right. And you can open it up and see what it says. Everyone should know that I married Nick and Linda. As you know, we were all there at the baby naming of Victoria. Terry has been a past president of the synagogue. Oh, that's okay. How you doing? I love this bubble wrap. Yeah, how do you like that, Victoria? Oh, she's going to help. She goes, forget the bubble wrap. I want the real thing. Oh, what is that? Oh. For your new home, and they have a beautiful home in Virginia, and it is, who wants to read it? Victoria. You want to read it? You guys read it. Here, why don't you all, can you all want to read it together? Okay. Can you see it?
May this home be blessed.
Oh, wait, hold on. Go ahead.
May this home be blessed with peace and tranquility.
May those
who dwell within
treasure goodness and generosity. May comfort and compassion embrace all those
who cross the threshold. May all who enter and all who depart enjoy good health and happiness. And then the blessing for the home is in the circle around it. Can you all see it? So may you be blessed. And we want to thank you for your service to the synagogue, Terry. And we want to thank you for sharing her as she has spent so many hours taking care of everything. For those who are new to the synagogue or who may not know, shortly, like 1 month after our building dedication, we lost our president for personal reasons, and Terry stepped up to the plate and carried us forward into a new chapter in our synagogue life. And that is what we're always doing. We're always going forward to the next chapter. So we thank you for keeping us whole right at a very exciting time in our journey. And we hope that this next journey in your lives will be filled with blessing and happiness. Yeah! So let us bless them. We'll do the Birkat Kohanim now. Everyone, please rise. So this is, may God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you. May God be with you always and grant you peace. And I'm going to take my talit, and this is it's probably time for a new one. I had it specially made for one of my very first gigantic High Holy Days services in 1998. Oh, yeah. And it has managed to stand the test of time. Okay. And as this talit covers you and embraces you, we're all together, so we're not going to worry about COVID all the time. So, Yivarechacha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha. Shalom. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Should I try it? No? Okay. You just delight us with your voice. You're going to have to come back and hang out with Skylar. All righty. So we love you guys, and may you go forth to a fabulous journey. Everyone send them, blow them kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah. Mwah. And we say Lehitra Ode until we see you again. Mwah. All right, so let's sing Sigmund Tov and Mazel Tov as they're going off the bima. Oh, and here's your picture. And then we'll give you more bubble wrap. Okay. Sigmund Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Sigmund Tov. Sigmund Tov, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov and Sigmund Tov. Sigmund Tov, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov and Sigmund Tov. Yeah, hey, Lana. Sigmund Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Sigmund Tov. Sigmund Tov, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov and Sigmund Tov. Sigmund Tov, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov and Sigmund Tov. Yeah, hey, Lana. Mazel Tov. Please be seated. So now we are going to do the Micha Mocha, which you can find on page 158. But let us first read what is actually underneath the prayer on page 158. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Remember, there were lots of gods and idols at the time of Lecha, of Abraham, who smashed those idols. Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise to you, Adonai, for redeeming Yisrael. Micha Mocha. And if you want to dance, please do. I'm coming over to the congas. Are you ready? Ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya da da bim bam, ya da da bim bim bam, ya da da bim bam, ya da 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 da, ya da da bim bam, ya da da da, ya da da bim bam. Micha Mocha, Balim Adonai, Micha Mocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Norati Pilo, Oh Sepele, Norati Pilo, Oh Sepele, Mahalachutecha, Rahu Vadecha, Lokei Ayam Livnei, Moshe, Miriam, Ze'eli, Ze'eli, Anu ve'ameru, Adonai Pilo, Leila Ha'ed, Yamama Bim Bim Bam, Yadadai Bim Bam, Yadai Bim Bim Bam, Yadadai Bim Bam, Yadai Bim Bam, Yadai Bim Bam. Woo! Woo! Wonderful. And now would everyone please rise as we open the Ark for the Amidah on page 164. 164. Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tiftach, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ananananana, Nanana, Ananananana, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tiftach, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanurah, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Mekonei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות לאמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע מגן. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Now you're going to do the insert for winter. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach umarid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofei cholim, El matir asirim, Mekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, El mido melach, Melech memi, Mechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanato l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh v'kadosh shim b'chol yom yehalalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. And let us read on the top of page 171. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. And let us look on the bottom page 173 and read together. Once again, this is part of that whole Lecha notion and how it does permeate our life and cause us to actually take it up another step, take it up another rung on the ladder of our lives together. Disturb us, Adonai. Together, let's hear that. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied. Dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and the sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred into action. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. And on the next page, 174. Important to know as we think of people moving on, let's read underneath the Ritzeh on the top page, top paragraph of 175. Ever-present one, may we, your people Yisrael, be worthy in our deeds and in our prayer, that wherever we live and wherever we seek you in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levarachah, ve'yirah na'avod. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu le'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu le'amcha Yisrael. Tefilatam, tefilatam, be'avat ekabel. Tefilatam, Tefilatan ve'avat kabel. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. Well, how many are still streaming shows on Netflix and Hulu and all those other places? Even though we're some of us going out and we're not completely hunkered down and locked in with COVID, how many are actually streaming anything? Raise your hands. Okay. There is a show streaming right now. I almost didn't want to watch it because the previews look so depressing. But it's on Netflix, and it's called Made. Not M-A-D-E, but M-A-I-D. Has anyone seen it? Okay. Part of it. It's tough to get through. It is both depressing and actually a little uplifting at the same time. If you could see that the character is working through her issues and working to get to the light. But before you get to the light, there is sometimes what? A lot of darkness. And the last time we were together, we were at Bereshit, and we were separating the waters and the chaos and the tohu vavohu and all of that. And that is really what she's doing in her life. It is a story of resilience in the face of adversity and the ability to persevere when all around you is chaos, turmoil, and abuse. And that no matter how much calamity life throws at you, having faith in yourself and something greater guiding you, it will help you overcome insurmountable odds. The lead character runs a group in one of the episodes. It's a writing exercise. She likes to write. And she asks everyone to tell about their happiest day. So all of you here and those of you at home, I want you to take a moment. If you'd like to close your eyes if you'd like, and think about, visualize what might have been your happiest day. Did anybody find that challenging? Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Because actually, I did. When watching the show, my husband, who has not been watching this show, but happened to catch the first few moments of this particular scene as we were leaving another show we were watching and turning this on for me to finish it, my husband looks at me and he goes, "Well, I'm going to tell you my happiest days. What were yours?" And I looked at him, and I had to stop for a moment. Like, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do I not have any happy days? Like, what's up with me? I'm trying to think about, my mind's trying to process, what was my happiest day? What was my happiest day? And then I realized, I was actually surprised, my issue was that I don't just have one. Okay? For me, life is a string of little interconnected moments, like a necklace, linking snapshots in time. There are happy days, but they're also commingled with the sad days. So sometimes it's kind of hard to differentiate, because sometimes those moments, they all kind of blend together and create something beautiful. So when you look at it, he turns to me, "Well, the day I married you, honey, was one of the happiest days of my life." Oh, good guy. That's right. Happy wife, happy life. Okay. So think about it. Maybe it's the day you got married. Maybe it's the birth of your children, or the smile and the delight in your grandchild's eyes. And Judy has a brand new baby grandchild, a son. When that baby first reaches out to you and holds your finger or smiles at you, it's so fabulous. Maybe, everyone knows here how much I like a new car. Maybe it's a new car, or accomplishing a long-term goal, or maybe it's bringing home a sweet-smelling puppy. For the very first time, we have some people who have done this recently, and cuddling that puppy and loving that puppy and smelling that new puppy smell. It's kind of like the smell of a brand new car. It's that new, fresh, wonderful feeling that you just want to wrap yourself up in, and you know that in there it's love. Life has many moments. The important thing is to stay in the game no matter what and reach for those moments. So now look at our temple. There were some happy times. Think about it. The very first service at the Hacienda Hotel. The very first service in the pouring down torrential rain that we thought nobody would come to at the PUC, and we were packed. Or what about the very first service here, the first ever when we blessed Tony and Diana for the recommitment of their vows and their marriage, where Sasha had her confirmation finally after it had been changed the date 3 times and she learned several portions because she wanted to do it in the new building. Or the day when the mayor was here and we were just packed full and we had the dedication of our building. And we paraded in with these Torah scrolls and it was a fabulous moment. Were we happy? These are happy moments, but there's not just one. Upon further reflection, when I really think about it, aside from the actual moments, and this was actually an aha moment for me, because my husband always says to me, why do you always have to live in a house with a view? And I thought about it, and most of my life I worked really hard to always have a house with a view. And when I didn't have a view, when I just had walls, I felt claustrophobic and depressed. And I didn't put this together until recently, until this moment, when I was thinking about what are my happiest moments. Aside from the actual moments, the real feeling of happiness and bliss is looking out at a beautiful sunset, looking out at the ocean, which we're so blessed to be able to do around here, or looking out the window and enjoying the view. Maybe you have a spectacular view of the city or the ocean or your garden. Take a look at this building. When my husband, the architect, designed it, what did I say? I want as many windows as we can have. We have French doors on this side looking out at Jerry's garden. We have French doors on this side looking out at Jerry's garden. And we have all the beautiful windows and our etched stained glass. And I look out at this, which gives me the inspiration to fuel these services and the spirituality for you, because I'm looking at the Magen David, the Jewish star, looking at the trees and the sky and the light of God that is everywhere. And I realize that even when I drive in my car, which Tony loves, he's convinced it's rose gold, and he says all the time, do you still have that rose car? With the top down, I feel the Ruach Elohim all around me, as we sang last Shabbat. That Spirit of God that is in the wind all around and embracing us. And these are the moments that are so wonderful and filled with blessing. And I realize that that is the common denominator. So there's absolutely, I guess, no accident that I stand here before you as your spiritual leader. Within all those happy moments is what? God. The divine is everywhere, in the wind, in the sea, in the sky, within us, in our prayers, in this sanctuary, in the love and the light of all of you, in the friendship and the community and the family that we feel. And I even must say, and those of you that know me, it is rather odd to feel that I actually feel happiness when I help someone transition from this world into the next. Because everyone has a story, and everyone has had good moments and bad moments, all those interconnected pieces in life that create an individual and what they have done and what they have given and what they have shared. And sometimes they have to look back and see the things that they are not happy with because they have to let that go in order to go to God. And it is a gift and a blessing to be of service in that moment. So our parsha this Shabbat is Lech, all about going forward, and hopefully going forward in blessing. Kabbalist Rav Yaakov Nagen wrote in the beginning of the parsha, Hashem calls to Avraham, Lech Lecha, from your land and your birthplace and your father's house. The Holy Zohar explains that the double language of Lech Lecha calls on a person to embark on a journey into himself or herself. Lech Lecha, unto yourself, to know and to fix yourself. In an awesome teaching in Orot HaKodesh, Rav Kook explains that when a person arrives at an understanding of himself or herself, he discovers, or she will discover, God. So this Shabbos, our patriarch Avraham is told to Lech Lecha, go forth, spread the word of the one true God, and enjoy the journey. Spread the truth and bring everyone closer to, in a sense, the happiness that can be found when you give up false idols and you reach for something more, something intangible and yet so real, something within yourself, journeying inward and then outward, sharing your truth, your divine experience, and then recognizing that therein lies happiness. Life is a journey of interconnected moments. So now I ask you to really think about it over this Shabbat. Where is your happy? Where does it lie? What was your happiest day? What drives you and brings you joy? We need to reconnect to this as we come out of COVID. Life is so fragile. There are highs and there are lows. There are good days and there are bad. There's a passage that we read, you heard it, that Lecha, that moment when God just disturbs us toward our destiny, to Lech Lecha, Lech, and go forth. If we are complacent, there will be no real opportunities for happiness. It colors our whole perspective in shades of darkness or gray, rather than the bright, brilliant hue, that white hue that can be found in true happiness. When my daughter was 3, we lived in Malibu, and she pointed to the sky. We had a beautiful picture window, of course, and she looked at it and she goes, "Mommy, look, Mommy, it is the color of love." Love. It is at the core of everything. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for our planet, and ultimately love for God, and the gift that life truly is. That is where happiness lies. Overall, we are meant to go forth unabashedly with that spirit in search of happiness and the joy that can be found in the journey, in all the interconnected moments of the journey. This Shabbat and always go forth with happiness in your heart, and know that when you Lech Lecha, when you reach to know God, when you have that willingness to search and share the best in you and with others, that is when you will be able to experience the happiness and delight of sharing divinity with all. True happiness can be found with faith and fortitude and the quest to Lech Lecha or Lech, to go forth without fear and share the moments, little and big, that bring you joy and reflect the light of the divine. So may God's presence be with all of you here and online and around the world. May happiness fill your heart and soul with delight, and may it be our collective prayer that some of our happiest days actually lie ahead for us all. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And so now, if you know it, we're going to sing Lecha. When you can look in the book, maybe it's in there, I don't know. To a land that God will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place you do not know. Lech, on your journey God will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lech Lecha, and God shall make your name great. Lech Lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lecha, to the place that God will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, Lecha. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lecha. And so now we're going to take all the love that's in our hearts and that joy that we feel when we are together, and we are going to do the Misha Berach. If you will turn in your prayer books to page 172, I think. 372. Oh, sorry, 371. Okay. Going forward, guys. We are going forward. I'll have to go back and look and see what's on page 172 that I'm supposed to connect to. And so I'll read to you on page 171. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. And that is the journey of Lecha. And we ask that our loved ones on their journey, whether it's with physical or spiritual pain, have a refuah shlema. So please, if you want to be seated or stand, say the names of your loved ones as Dan is playing the music, and then we'll sing the prayer together on page 371. Harriet and I were blessed to go see Bud Friedman. We go every month to see him pretty much. And he was quite alert this time. He's been moved to a new place, a new assisted living place. And he sang every word of the Misha Berach, the Shema, Hini Matov, and he even was bouncing his feet to the groove as he was singing. So may he have a refuah shlema, all of those in our community that are in need of blessing and light and spiritual uplifting, as together we sing the prayer. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Havracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheverah Yimotenu Mekor Havracha bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say So as many of you know, I am an open book, and I look at the line, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And so I've spent several years doing the NAMI program, National Association of Mental Illness, and Bella Forster of blessed memory, held classes here. And the one thing that I was curious, because we have congregants, and I've known people over the years that have gone to AA meetings and Al-Anon meetings, but I'd actually never gone to an Al-Anon meeting. So I thought, well, let me just go. I had someone invite me. I'm like, let me see how it differs from a NAMI meeting. And the interesting thing is they asked everyone to share, and there's no judgment, no crosstalk, and to share a passage in the book, which was actually, I think it's The Courage to Care, someone might correct me, but they wanted everyone to share something that they felt brought courage, or where they had to have courage, or how you go forward in courage in the face of whatever you're dealing with. And it was interesting because several people came up to me after and said, well, you don't seem like a newcomer. You've got this aura around you and this calmness and this knowledge. And I said, well, I've been dealing with this in my own life for years with mental illness in the family, and then with congregants. But when we had to share about courage, I said, because everyone, I was one of the last people, and people are all sharing different things, but I said, courage is when you have to go forward and make your life a blessing. I didn't even realize I was quoting the Misha Berach. Make your life a blessing when someone else is determined to destroy theirs. And it's really hard. It's hard to go forward and say, I choose to be happy. You might remember in my High Holy Day sermon I said, what? So we have to learn how to say yes and we have to learn how to say no. And sometimes it's very hard to say no and have that courage. So as we think and reflect upon what brings us happiness, we also must think and reflect about, do we have the courage to actually be happy? And I think that we covered that, to be successful, in some other High Holy Day sermons. Do we have the courage to let go and go forward, let go and let go? You give God everything. And I said to them, I'm always giving everything over to God all the time, which is what many of them are learning how to do. And I just was blessed to feel like everybody's on a journey. We all have our issues and our things that we need to do to help the loved ones in our lives. But it's important to always remember to have the courage to go forward with blessing, and that's what Lecha is. So, Terry's family, they're having the courage to go forward to something that they don't know so that Victoria can grow up with family. Linda lost her mother a year ago, so she wants to be around her family and her other brothers and sisters, and Terry wants to be with her grandchild and the rest of them. So they're going to Lecha, they're going to go forward. We don't know, after COVID, all of religious institutions, synagogues, churches, all of them, everyone is suffering financially. What does it mean to Lech Lecha and go forward? What does the future hold for us? What is that going to look like? And we need to let go and let God and have the courage to know faith brought us here. Faith will carry us forward, and faith will bring us our ultimate blessing. So those in our world, in our lives, throughout the world and in our circles, may they have a refuah shlema, a complete and full healing. Please rise as the ark is opened and turn to page 586 for the Mishabero. For the Eleni. Let us now praise the sovereign of the universe and proclaim the greatness of the Creator who has set us apart from the other families of the earth, giving us a destiny unique among nations. We bend the knee and bow, acknowledging that the Supreme Sovereign, the Holy One of blessing, has brought us to this moment. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, and there is none else. Aleinu l'shaveach ladon hakol, latekid la leyoser v'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kamishachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu hafol hamonam, v'anachnu korin, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noten shamayim v'yoser aretz, Moshe Yekaro Bashamayim Ima'al, Ushechinat Uzo, Begov Hey Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Echasulato, Kakatu Betorato, Veyadata Hayom Bashebota, El Lavavecha, Ki Adonai, Hu HaElohim, Bashamayim Imal, Ve'aretz mitachat, Einod, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, V'yom ha'hu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. Please be seated, and the ark is closed. And now if you'll turn to page 598, we have our mourner's Kaddish as we draw to mind the loved ones that we have who have moved on and those who have died around the world at this time. If you've lost someone in the last 7 days, would you please rise and say your loved one's name? Sorry to hear. Please stay standing. And we also want to congratulate Judy Rice, who is our newest member as of date. Thank you for joining and sharing your love and your family with us. And if you've lost someone in the last 30 days, would you please rise and say your loved one's names? Or if you're standing, raise your hand. Sunny? Sorry to hear, Natalie. Anybody else? If you've lost anybody in the last 11 months, please rise and say your loved ones' names. The last 11 months, and if you're already standing, raise your hands. Diana and Tony? Joy? Thank you. Dan and Judy? They're calling you now saying thank you for saying my name. Natalie? Judy? And Sunny? Anybody else? Is anyone observing a yard site at this time, the anniversary of a loved one's death? Please rise and raise your hand. Thank you, Sue. And then Lynn? Wonderful. And go ahead, Dan. Thank you. And Bob? Anybody over here on this side? Harriet? Anybody else? Together we rise and we do the Kaddish on page 598. 598. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrah chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kariv imru. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam l'omei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramon v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei l'kudashah v'rechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tishbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran ve'elama v'imru. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'okol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'okol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May God, who is the author of life and death, the creator of peace, grant eternal rest and perfect peace to our loved ones in the heavenly realm. Peace to those who are suffering fresh with grief and mourning at this time. And peace to all of us, all the world, as together we say, Amen. Please be seated as we have some announcements. But Diana, are we going to celebrate and do a big hoo-ha for Tony's birthday now or next Shabbat? Because he falls in the middle.
It's next week.
Right, so it's up to you or him.
No, we're going to celebrate it
At the pan.
at the lunch bunch.
Right. So when's our double portion of manna going to be? Now? Okay. All right. I don't know if you guys can swivel that camera around, but Tony, we love you so much. And when I look over at the choir and the band, the choir is all of us. Many of you have been in the choir. Tony, you were the leader of the choir. And when I very first came to the South Bay, you and Diana recorded everything so I would sing the notes and the music exactly how you guys wanted it. And now we just all sort of do it together. So, Tony, how old are you going to be next week?
87.
87. Woo, woo, woo. Let's hear it for Tony.
Time flies when you're having a good time.
Yes, yes. And he has his Basher, his soulmate, his beloved. He has Diana. I know I've been there with you many times when you've been in the hospital, and she's a barracuda. She does not let you go. We come in there, Amy over there, your daughter, playing the ukulele. We're not letting you go. And here you are. You're going to outlive us all, Tony. You got great helpers and and that divine light inside of you. So everyone, let's sing Yom Huledet Sameach to Tony. May God bless you and keep you and be with you. May you have good health and many more years of happy wedded bliss and light ahead of you. And Tony's a musician, so of course Dan has to play. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you. I don't know if that was a good choice or not.
I can't do that.
Okay, everyone, Hebrew, as you come up to do announcements. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
Happy birthday, honey.
Happy birthday, honey.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Welcome to everybody. Anybody new here tonight? I don't think so. I think I see everybody I know. If I don't know you, come up and say hello and tell me. I don't know why you don't know me, but you know me now. Okay, so thank you to Mark Tannen and Andrew Liu for their expertise at the live stream. And Tony and I are, of course, sponsoring the service and these beautiful flowers. Somebody remind me to take them home. I have a terrible memory. Thank you, Rabbi Cantor Didi. It's exquisite, as usual. I'm surprised I don't know that already. To our terrific music director, Dan Spector, thank you, and our musicians. And we'll start with Hilda on harp, and Marianne on violin, and Amy on baritone ukulele. Thanks much, guys. Thanks to Tim Jones for providing security for us tonight. And if you haven't told Rabbi that you want to join us for dinner at Truxton's tonight, please tell us. We'll add your name to the list. We are saying farewell tonight to our immediate past president, Terry Schneier, who is moving with her family to Virginia. Thanks to Livestream and YouTube, you can still share in the magic of Temple Emet, because you're only as far away as Zoom. And did you really want to come to the Zoom board meetings? Really? Okay, Sandra, we'll put her back on the list. Okay. Let's see, what am I saying here? Oh, lunch bunch, yes. This coming Wednesday at the Pan, 12:30. And because in my family, when you celebrate a birthday, you celebrate it again and again and again, we will celebrate Tony's birthday at the Pan. So please come and join us. Let me know if you're coming so we tell them how many are coming. November 5th is our next service at 5 o'clock. Saturday, November 6th is the Sisterhood Luncheon at DeRoma's. And call or text Fran Revine with your entree order if you're planning to come. Is this a good time to remind you that the end of the calendar year is only 2 months away? See, time really flies. Please remember to pay your dues and pledges either in full or in part. You can still order a leaf on our tree or a stained glass tribe or letter before the year ends, especially if you want that tax deduction. Paperwork is on the back table. Don't forget to give everyone a hug. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you so much for your wonderful leadership. Good job. And thanks for keeping Tony going. So yes, our dinners, we've got 21 people so far coming to dinner. If you guys want to come, I've already talked to them and told them we might need to squeeze in a few. So if you have not RSVP'd, just want to come, please join us at Truxton's American Bistro. For those of you that are at home watching in your pajamas, throw on some clothes, or I don't care, come in your pajamas as long as they cover you up. And you can come join us at Truxton's. So watch your email. There's a Zoom event that we are sharing from another temple that Judy will send out. It's this Sunday, so take a look at that and see if you are home and you want to do something else on Zoom, you can watch that. And we'll look forward to being with you all yet again at the Pan. I think we already have 13 signed up for lunch on Wednesday. So please join us. And I think Terry might be stopping in for lunch as well. So it's like a birthday. It's like the farewell that goes on. Because it's never really goodbye. It's just lehitraot till we see you again. So that being said, we've already blessed one another with the Birkat Kohanim. So our closing song, what shall it be? Oh, I am just a sucker for the harp. And I'll already tell you, you can do it twice for that double portion. Okay, whatever you want to do. Okay, you guys, please rise and let's get ready for Adon Olam, page 625. And as you see, she's got the blue and white there for the Dodgers, so we're praying that they do a good job. One more time for them. Woo! Adon Olam, Asher Malam, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Shema Nikra. Ve'acharei kiklat hakol levado imlok nora ve'haya ve'haya ve'tivara. So, before we all leave, those of you that have had, Tony, you were right here, but I know, Bob Spencer, you had a birthday. We've had some other birthdays. So let's just start now, because we used to do it on the third Friday. So let's just start from the beginning of the new year. So if you've had a birthday from Rosh Hashanah through now, through the end of October, please come stand in front. From September, Labor Day weekend, September 5th and 6th, that's you, Wendy. To October 31st. So everyone line up right here so the camera can see you. Okay, or should they come up now on the beamer? Line up right here, cameras focus on them. Tony too, okay, who else has had a birthday? Are we ready? Yeah? Are we having a debate over there when we had a birthday or not? Yeah, well come on up if you're not sure if you had a birthday, but you just want to have birthday blessing. Come on up. Okay, are we ready? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Wendy and Pat and Sunny and Bob. Happy birthday, Tony Joe. And I want everyone out there to know how devoted. You see, if you devote your time and your energy and your funds to Temple Emet, you live a long and healthy life because everything that you're doing is for the purpose of sharing. Wendy was our first president. She was also Sisterhood president. Pat is Sisterhood president. Sunny, you're in charge of the money for Sisterhood, aren't you? Yeah. Yes, and Bob here when we talk. And Sisterhood president, and if you're not sure, you can look on the plaque outside in the lobby. And right here, this man was our auditor to make sure that we kept our finances straight at the beginning of the inception. What happened is you stopped doing it is what happened. No. So, thank you to all of you for your service. May God keep you healthy and well so that you can continue to serve the divine in only the way that your individual, unique lights can do. So everyone, Yom Huledet Sameach! 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 Woo! Happy birthday! So everyone out there needs to know on the third Friday you need to come because we're going to go back to doing birthdays, and that means that Sue, you may have to come on and do it on a different day. Are we all ready? It'll be close. Everybody, Shabbat Shalom. Come to eat at Truxton's. Thank you to our musicians, to those on the Bima, and everyone who helps make Emet what it is. Shabbat Shalom. Amen.